Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome back to the channel, or whatever stage of watching my channel you're at, welcome. And some of you guys know this tank very well. This is Dragon Valley 1.0. It was my first real aquascape where I glued a bunch of dragon stones together to make this real pretty arch. Here's a picture of it when it was being built. And now it looks like this. And well, the point is you really can't tell what it is anymore. So, time for a rescape. Now, we're not going to be doing a full teardown and empty the aquarium all the way out kind of rescape. This is what I'm going to call a working rescape. So we're going to leave the filter running. We're going to trim most of the plants out. We're going to take all this Monte Carlo off and stuff and kind of change the aquascape up a little bit. So let's take a look at where it's at now and what I want to remove and why. Okay, for starters, those that aren't familiar with the aquarium, this is a 10-gallon aquarium. It's manufactured by Mr. Aqua, and they're kind of hard to find anymore. Measurements on it are 17 inches or 45 centimeters by about 10.5 inches or 27 centimeters, and it is 30 centimeters tall or 1 foot. The inhabitants of the aquarium right now is 4 golden neon tetras. That's these guys right down here. Little gold neon tetra. They're pretty cool when they go in and out of the shadow like you just saw right there. There are 4 emerald eye rasboras. They usually hide up here. You can see all the cherry shrimp as well. I'm sure we'll find the other fish later on. Filtering the aquarium currently is just a True Nano or True Aqua Nano filter. In the back there you can barely see. The aquarium does get fertilizer and CO2. If you're wondering what this towel is here, don't worry about that. That aquarium is in a blackout due to a major algae outbreak. But back to the task at hand. First thing we're going to do is remove all of this Ludwigia Super Red Mini and this Atra. It's gorgeous, I know. Look at it just growing all up on the top there. Oh, fantastic. Who would want to get rid of that? Me, that's who. So we've got some Anubias here. We've got a couple of Bucephalandras, which are actually trying to flower. Can we zoom in on that one? Yeah, you can see that Bus right there trying to flower. Pretty cool stuff. But all this Anubias and stuff you see is just not getting enough light to be able to grow. We're getting algae problems in here, like on this leaf right there. You can see it's just all green algae. It's trying to do its thing and survive. But it's fighting a war against all of this stuff here. Monte Carlo poof ball, I'm going to call it. In fact, while we're in here, there's a piece of algae right there. Let's go ahead and grab that out. There's an algae-stricken piece. We don't want that. And panning over here to the right, you can see we have the same issue going on if we get this Atra out of the way. The Monte Carlo here is just, it's just taken over. But anyway, I just want to change it up a little bit. So we're going to pull all of the Monte Carlo off of here and see what's hiding underneath. I know there's some Buses and stuff up here on the top, or Anubias. We're going to pull all this Monte Carlo off the side here. We're going to take all of this Atra and Ludwigia out. There is a little bit of Pentatophyta. Let me take you off the tripod. There's a little bit of Pentatophyta right back there. It may stay. We'll have to see. For now, it's going to stay. I can always trim it and keep it smaller. But it's time for a rescape, and a rescape we're going to do. Oh, down here at the bottom, we have an S. repens carpet that is finally, well, trying to carpet. So we're going to leave that. It's heavily rooted in there. We're going to let it stay and do its thing. Okay, the format for this one's not going to be time-lapse and music, although I think I'll put some music on in the background here for you guys, but we're going to just do some clips, real time of pulling some things out so that you can see what's underneath at the same time I do. Now, I don't think you guys are going to be able to see back here, even with the ISO all the way up, but that's where it is planted, right in the back there in between that rock. That's where we got to pull it out from. I'm going to put you up on this view on top here because probably a little easier view for you guys. Now we're not cutting it either. We're actually pulling it all the way out by the roots. So I'm going to just probably try and grab the whole clump and see if I can do this in one go, or just pull the whole aquasoil ball out. Again, I'm leaving the filter running here for obvious reasons. We want to soak up any of the dirt and debris. Yeah, it just pulled out the whole aquasoil ball is what happened there. All right, and I'm unprepared with no dish to put it in. Well, I will just have to clean up the floor because I've got no other option but to pull this all the way out of here. Look at that. That awesome? That's amazing, isn't it? You can't see nothing. The ice is down too far. There we go. It's a little brighter for you. Look at that. That's just awesome. I think there's snails falling off. Oh no, that was a shrimp. Oh my goodness. Come here, little shrimpy. All right, put a little shrimp back in there. There. Sorry, girl. Didn't know you was hanging on in here. All right, I just made a mess on the floor. Let me get this cleaned up. All right, so I got the floor cleaned up for one, and I have all of the Rotala H-Raw divvied up here into different portions. Maybe you can see there the little weights. What we're gonna do is put those in the grow out tank. We're just gonna kind of stick them in the corner of the grow out tank here because they will go for sale to my local fish store on Monday. This is the weekend, I guess you figured out. And the Ludwigia Super Red Mini, I put it in the grow out tank over here as well. It can stand up and do its thing, and then I'll trim it and portion it up, sell it as well. Quick update on the grow out tank, looking good. Hi there, pretty fishies. Florida flagfish. Okay, continuing on here, I've armed myself with the wife's baking tray for the Monte Carlo here, so now I have somewhere to put things. We'll just slide it over here. So that's the next step here. We're gonna get this Monte Carlo out and zoom you in, and we'll start taking this apart here, beginning with the right-hand side. Okay, little shrimps, you gotta get off of there. Should just pull off in like mats here, I'm thinking. Yeah, look at that. Just a nice little clump of Monte Carlo. Always had problem growing Monte Carlo until choked up there. I always had problems growing a Monte Carlo until I put it on Dragonstone, and then all of a sudden it decided it liked the nutrients of the Dragonstone, I guess, because it went crazy. Now we can start seeing the original scape coming back here, including all the super glue. Want to try and get it all off of there now. Look at that. Any little place that Monte Carlo could send a runner, it sent a runner. Or if a leaf kind of blew in behind that Anubias plant there. Buddy, I'm trying to record a video here. Can you guys hear the guinea pig in the background drinking water? Throughout this video, if you hear any squeaking or weird noises, that's because our little guinea pig Giuseppe is right next to the cage, or the aquarium here. His cage is right next to the aquarium. I mean, he's a cute little guy. Makes it hard to film videos though. Say hi to the people, Giuseppe. Alright, back to fish. So for the most part, I think I got all the Monte Carlo off of that rock. We'll double check again later. It's kind of nice to see the hardscape again, but it looks kind of weird. It's been months since I've seen it this way. Let's go ahead and tackle this big clump of Monte Carlo here. You little shrimps, you got to get off of there. I'm going to break it when we're at this part here where it's around the Anubias. We have to just kind of tear it to get it out from around the Anubias. Alright, little shrimps, get off of there, buddy. I think I got everybody off. There's a snail. It's just intertwined into this Anubias here. Oh man, look at this. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. Look at that. I can't begin to tell you guys how thick this thing is. Look at that. That is just crazy. Let me get it under the light so you can see. That is one clump o' Monte Carlo. Now we still got some pieces here in the back that are hanging on here. Got shrimp swimming in and out of my fingers. Alright, a little piece there. A couple little strings. It's just creeped everywhere. I mean, when it took over, it just took over. It's actually loosened up a piece of rock here. This piece of rock is being held on by Monte Carlo. That's crazy. Alright, have to figure that out and put that back later. Alright, we're pretty much cleaned up here with getting all the Monte Carlo out. It was such a large mat, it really didn't take that much time. There's a couple little stragglers here and some strings that I need to kind of get out of there. So I'm going to clean the rest of this up. The shrimp are loving it. They're eating everything that was underneath there. But I'm going to clean the rest of these little pieces of Monte Carlo up and let the water itself clear up here. And then we'll come back and get an idea of what we're going to do for the Rescape. We're going to try and leave the boosters where they're at, but we're just going to kind of collect everything, get it in a tray so that we can get all of this Monte Carlo out of there. and quite frankly, trim off all of these algae infested leaves. So I'm just going to get all this Anubias out of there. We'll be kind of at a clean slate, if you will, on our rockscape. Okay, I got most of the Anubias and the boost pulled off of this side here. I left one piece up top there. I like it in that position. No need to disturb it or move it. I am having a good time watching the shrimp. They are loving having all of that rock exposed. There must be all kinds of good treats under there, or what was under there, I mean. Now, the Anubias is down here. I kind of like this area. I like this kind of patch here, and it's kind of in the concave areas. I know the water's cloudy, it's kind of hard to see, but I do like that. Just this one Anubias here, it looks great, but it's growing towards the glass and hitting the glass, so the leaves are rolling over, and it doesn't quite look good. There's also a Bucephalandra under that Anubias, and I'm afraid it's going to get choked out. There's a Bus under here as well, one or two. So instead of pulling the Anubias out, I'm going to leave the Anubias there. I'm going to pull the Buses out, or I'm going to try, and then I'm going to trim this Anubias right here. So let's start by trying to trim this piece of Anubias off. I got to see where the end of it is. I guess it would grow here. See, there's a little sprout down here. So we can trim this off right at the stalk there. Okay, pull that out of there. Now, our Bus is down here. These leaves don't look so great, so I'm going to trim the leaves off this Anubias as well. You can trim all of the leaves off of a rhizome plant like Anubias, and it will still grow new leaves even though you've completely taken all of its photosynthesizing leaves off. It will regrow. So we're going to do that to this poor Anubias. We're going to look, there's a piece of Monte Carlo right there that I missed. See? Monte Carlo everywhere. Alright, take this off. Snip this old leaf off here. There's a shrimp taking a ride. And that leaves this Bus here, which I'm going to pull up, maybe. Yeah, pull that out of its crack there. Okay. What this will leave is an area for this Bus to regrow and just do what it wants to. There's more Monte Carlo here. So now moving on to this area next to it, we've got some Anubias here. It could use a couple of leaves trimmed off, some bad algae covered leaves. We'll start by trimming the bad stuff off, and that'll give us more view into where that Bus is. I already see one of them down here where I'm trimming. Try to trim the Anubias and not the Bus. See if you can see it. There's a Bus hiding right back there. This piece of Bucephalandra here is loose. We're gonna just pull that right out of there, and we'll trim the rest of this Anubias real quick. Bottom section here, done. Alright, moving up just a little bit here, we have another piece of Anubias that we need to clean up some of these dead leaves. I'm going to leave this Anubias in place. Clean this up just a little bit here. And there's another piece of Monte Carlo. Alright, we got that section of Anubias cleaned up. There's a budding Bucephalandra right over here, and I think I'm going to leave it next to it. We can leave that guy there. He's in a good spot. I can see him. The Anubias is not choking him out, so that's good. One last little trimming session right down here. There's a bunch of those algae covered Anubias leaves. We're going to go ahead and get that all taken care of. Alright, well lucky you guys, because my microphone died, so I had to wait for it to charge up before we can move on to the next step. So I grabbed myself a little snack, and we're ready to continue. I think what I'm going to do is pull the Pentatophyta out of the back as well. Kind of start semi-fresh, you know what I mean? Alright, I'm just going to grab this piece of Pentatophyta back here. It's pretty big, and I'm not quite sure how much Pentatophyta I want back in the scape. These little sprigs up top there, these little guys are okay. I can leave that kind of stuff. Maybe we'll take this one off. We can leave some little ones, but we don't want Pentatophyta to be the main focus anymore. Alright, we're all cleaned up here on the rocks, ready to rescape, or rather just re-glue things. But first, we've got to get rid of, well, all this Monte Carlo. So what I'm going to do is just throw the Monte Carlo right down here in the 75-gallon aquarium. This is going to be the next rescape. It looks drab in there because, well, we don't have any light getting to the bottom due to the red root floaters. Anybody want some red root floaters? Come get them. Anyway, if we'll focus, there we go. Change the ISO a little bit. We're just going to drop it in over here. Sorry for the bad reflection there, but we're just going to throw it down there. Hopefully it stays. There are some little crawfish in here. There we go. It should be right in the center of your screen there. Little crawfish. So I don't know if they're going to chew on the Monte Carlo or not. They haven't eaten the dwarf sage here or any of my Anubias and stuff here. All right, let's see if this works out. Unfortunately, I think Monte Carlo floats, doesn't it? Even though it's in a big mat. Yeah, of course, it's going to want to float. So what we'll do is just put a little rock on it. That'll hold it down. There. Those that are familiar with this aquarium, you may be asking yourself, where is Billy Bass and where is Brim Boy? Well, Billy Bass and Brim Boy, they were given to a friend of mine. He's got a pond more suitable for Billy the largemouth bass. But don't you worry, we got big plans for this aquarium, and I think you're going to like it. All right, temporary Monte Carlo holding tank. If I move some of this, you might be able to get some light on it. There we go. All right, next thing we're going to do is turn off the filter because there's some debris that, has settled in the aquarium, and I want to suction that out with a siphon hose. If we look in the back of the aquarium, you can really see it here. So I just want to siphon some of this out just to get some of that raw organic matter out of the aquarium. It needs a water change anyway. Might as well do it while we're rescaping. I'm probably going to suck up some shrimp in this process, but we will get them back out of the bucket, don't worry. All right, we got our tray of plants down here, which I've already kind of prepared. Nice little pieces of Bucephalandra. We also got some Anubias here. It needs to be kind of trimmed and snipped in different areas. Get some little pieces, get it back in the scape. That's all I'm going to do for now. So enjoy as we take all of that stuff and put it back where it came from. All right, I got to start by putting my rock back. I don't know exactly which way this went in there. This looks about right here for the scape. All right, so re-glue that back in there. Now, while we've got some glue there, I think we'll go ahead and get a piece of booze in there. Oh, it's gonna be a snail is gonna get stuck in there. Come on, snail, you don't want to get stuck in the glue. This looks like a perfect spot for a little boost right there. All right, put another tiny piece of boost right here where this glue spot is as well. No sense in wasting the glue. You can get some plants in there. All right, perfect. Now the glowing eyesore right now is that this shelf needs something. So we've got to put something over on this shelf area. Little cyanoacrylate gel. Try and get the roots to look natural while I shove this into place. Now, these roots should go grab back on and adhere to wherever they want to go, droop over the side and give it that kind of aged jungle look. Now I found another piece of Monte Carlo back here. This stuff is everywhere. I'm sure I've missed a little tiny piece and the Monte Carlo is going to come back, but a little is okay. We just didn't want it to be the entire aquascape. Okay, now I want this little boost shelf here. I got to figure out which pieces I want. This can actually probably go right down in the hole there. All right, what I'm going to do is there's a hole here. I'm going to stick this boost right back down in that hole, and it can grow out of there. And this one, there's a hole up top of the dragonstone here. Just gonna shove the root end of it down in there, and it can grow out of there. Should be natural looking ish, I think. I have another small piece of Anubias, and I think I'm gonna put it right in this little spot coming out from the crack of the rock there. That will cover up kind of this hole that is there in the aquascape or in the hardscape. If I can get it in there. Just kind of poking out. Of course, the leaves will stand up and he'll blend into that area there. Now, before we get too far on this shelf here, we've got some other areas that we have to address. We need to get the aquarium balanced. So on this side here, we need some Anubias up top, and then we need some boost as well. Tuck them right in there. His leaves will stand up the way he wants to be stood up in a day or two. And another small piece, which I think maybe I want to put somewhere around here. Let this Anubias grow up. All right, I got this leafy piece of Anubias here, and it's got a kind of a nice rhizome on it already, and it fits real nice just right there, continuing this leaf line kind of up and finishing off the top. Now there's some Pennatifida sprinkled in here, but as long as I keep maintaining it and I pull off runners like this, pull those runners off of there, a little bit of different texture is going to look pretty okay. I know, Giuseppe. Hey, I'm trying to make a video here. So now I've got this little piece here. I'm thinking maybe just right up there. It looks good. Sometimes you just got to sporadically stick a plant here and there and everywhere until you figure out a good spot where it looks good. There's Giuseppe wanting food. Sorry for the squeaks, guys. Put a little bit of super glue here and stick the roots down into the crack here. That piece of rock is loose. We'll go ahead and fix that while we're here. My aquascape's falling apart, guys. Okay, got another couple pieces of Anubias. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm thinking right here looks good. Let me back you up a little bit. Zoom out. I think that guy's gonna look good right there. Looks kind of natural. I guess I really didn't go over the plan for this Rescape, but I think you're getting the gist of it. Is I wanted a little lower maintenance, a little slower growing, and just kind of something where I can see the rocks and the plants coming in and out of the rocks and just be able to see that hardscape again. I worked so hard on it, 2 days to be precise, but about a week of thinking and planning. So I want to make sure that I get to enjoy all the hard work I put in. Okay, I got another piece here of Anubias. I'm wondering if I should put it right up top there. Oh man, that looks good, doesn't it? We'll go ahead and stick it right there. All right, we're coming together. I'm thinking for balance, we've got one more nice piece of Anubias here, the long root. While we have a sprig up here, I'm thinking this guy might look good just right on the side there. Or maybe we need him probably over here. Yeah, I think that balances out a little bit better on this side. This one will grow and fill in, so I don't need another one there. It's got some long roots. I think we're just gonna stick him right there. And give it a quick mist here, keep everything nice and damp. Okay, now I've got 6 pieces of Bucephalandra left, and I want to showcase it. So I'm gonna start covering this ridge, I think, with some Boost, and that one sits really good right in front there. The roots are gonna look awesome coming down the side of the rock. So I think we'll just set him right in there. Now what I do on one side, I'm gonna do something on the other because I want to keep things balanced. All these boosts are so awesome. They got flowers. Let's maybe put this one right next to it here. Put a little dab of glue over here and the dab of boost here, which will grow the way he wants to grow. And this one here I think is going to look perfect right in the middle. Okay, I got 4 small pieces left. I think we're going to want one over here. This is Bucephalandra Brownie Purple, by the way, so it has kind of a nice dark texture to it, to the leaves, hence the name Brownie Purple. It's like a purpley brown leaf. Looks really good up close. You can't see it too well on camera, I'm imagining. All right, and then on the shelf here, I'm just going to put a couple little pieces that hopefully will kind of crawl around the top of this flat rock. That's why I put the Monte Carlo on there, and it did a great job. But now I want it to be Boost Mountain or something. But I think we need one more piece of Anubias just right up here, right on top of this rock here. I know there's a piece here that will grow, but they can grow in together and fill in this corner. But I just needed some height, something to cover the edge of this rock. It looked too, I don't know, rocky. All right, guys, I've got some Fluval stratum that I'm going to be putting back into this back corner again here where the planting pocket was. And the reason that I put some Fluval stratum aqua soil back there is because I can hear you guys all the way through the interwebs and through the YouTube algorithm. You're already telling me, put something in that back corner. So I've got some beautiful Alternanthera reniki that I pulled out of the grow out tank. We are going to enjoy a little purple back in the corner. That's when I designed this aquarium. It was designed to have something planted back there. So we're going to put something back there because I can already hear you guys in the comments. You can't just leave the back empty. It looks too plain, too too barren. That's the word I was looking for. So we'll fill it in with some big bushy Renike, or Renike-eye, or however you guys want to say it. All right, let's give it another mist here so the plants stay nice and hydrated. And then I've already got a couple of 10 gallons or so of RO water ready to go. We're going to slowly fill this back up with RO water. In the meantime, I'm going to clean the dirty filter that's over there, and then we'll show you guys the finished Rescape. All right, guys, it's the next day because when I was filling up the aquarium, I slowly dripped the RO water in to make sure everybody gets acclimated properly. It was a pretty big refill. And, well, the light turned off automatically, realized it was pretty late, so we just let it cycle overnight until this morning. Everybody seems happy this morning, and the aquarium's looking fantastic. Boy, you guys were right, putting that Alternanthera Renike in the back there to get a little purple just poking over the back of the rock really kind of tied the whole aquascape together. I'm glad you guys yelled at me and told me to do that. The rest of this is going to take some time to fill in. These are all very slow growing plants, and I think it's going to be absolutely amazing once it grows in, but that's going to take a whole bunch of time. So I'm going to end this video right here, guys. That's a sneaky little YouTube trick to get you to subscribe to the channel because you're dying to see the update video like a month down the road. So go ahead and do that. And until then, I'll continue making other content to keep you entertained till that video releases. I do appreciate you guys watching it. I hope that you enjoyed the Rescape on it. Leave a comment, let me know if I should have rescaped it. I know a lot of people are going to say that they loved that natural overgrown look and that Monte Carlo was something they wish they could have in their aquarium. So let me know, do you agree or disagree with the decision to rescape? I'll enjoy reading and responding to your guys' comments, and I will catch you on the next one.